where do I even start with Brandy? I can't stand how she's somehow been crowned as iconic. Honestly, the title should be revoked immediately. Let's talk about how I never liked her from the get-go. The only thing that made her somewhat bearable was her friendship with Lisa. But seriously, how did she not get booted after everything that went down in season 4? She completely turned on Lisa, lied about the tabloids, and oh, let's not forget the racist comment. Classic Brandy move, right? And don't even get me started on season 5. She's somehow even worse. I'm convinced she's the weirdest, most awkward person to ever appear on reality TV. She lies, and not even in a clever way. It's almost like she's trying to make it obvious. If you're going to hide your true intentions, at least be better at it, girl. You'd think she'd learn a thing or two from being friends with Lisa Vanderpump. But nope, she's a walking, talking disaster. I can barely stand to watch her. The cringe-worthy moments are endless. That time, she tried to apologize to Lisa and randomly blurts out, "Do you want me to eat your psie asterisk like, what?" Seriously? My skin literally crawled. And don't even get me started on when she threw wine in Eileen's face for no reason. I had to skip ahead because I couldn't handle the secondhand embarrassment. And the worst part? She genuinely thinks she's hilarious. Like she thinks she's got some kind of genius humor that no one else understands. It's honestly painful to watch. What I don't get is why anyone thinks she's iconic. What part of her is supposed to be legendary? Honestly, I can't wait for her to be off my screen already. As for her friendship with Lisa making her more tolerable, like what? If she's a terrible person, it doesn't matter who she's friends with. In fact, it kind of makes you question Lisa's judgment, don't you think? And maybe I'm in the minority here, but when she went after Adrienne and Paul about the surrogate thing, I thought she crossed the line. The whole cast should have cut her off right there, and the fans should have too. She's the queen of manufactured drama. It's exhausting. Here's a rewritten version with a sarcastic tone, intact and clear phrasing. So what did you think Kim meant when she said, "I'll go there about the husband"? Did you think she was implying he's gay, cheating, or maybe has secret kids? Honestly, I never bothered to overthink it or fill in the blanks. Apparently, the rumor is that he was having an affair with some rock singer's wife, and when he wanted to end it, Lisa and Harry both allegedly went after the woman. Of course, Lisa denied it on Instagram, claiming the woman had nothing to do with them. Kim was supposed to spill the tea at the reunion, but she chickened out. Guess that's why Rinna kept coming for her. Honestly, I bet it's a mix of cheating and Slash or his sexuality. I mean, they've been living apart for months at a time, with him mostly in Canada, so it wouldn't surprise me either way. But clearly, there's something more going on if Rinna is still losing her mind over it years later. Oh, and here's the cherry on top. Ben and Ronnie from Watch What Crappens shared that Kathy Griffin once asked Harry about the whole Kim situation. His brilliant response? Apparently, the rumor was that he ******* the dog. So there's that. Oh, here we go. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm really starting to dislike Garcelle. Maybe it's just a bad season edit, but who knows? Her interactions with Dorit, yes, Dorit, are dripping with passive aggression, and it's been going on all season. And I can't even bring myself to like Dorit, so that's saying something. With Dorit, at least, there's some effort to acknowledge past mistakes, even the ones that didn't exactly need to be atoned for. While Garcelle plays along, but then drops snide remarks that make any progress feel like it's back to square one. Don't even get me started on what she said about Kyle and her marriage in this episode. That was just uncalled for. Why is she even commenting on something that has nothing to do with her? I used to love Garcelle. She was a breath of fresh air, the voice of reason, and honestly, a much-needed change from the usual drama. But now, she's the one causing it, and I can't help but wish they'd bring in someone who could play that voice of reason role without the biting sarcasm. Eileen Davidson, anyone? And let's talk about Sutton for a second, because Garcelle's defense of her has completely shattered any consistency in her views. Sutton literally said, "The word racist to me is a virus worse than COVID," among other ridiculous things, and Garcelle's response? Silence. The woman was drunk, making microaggressions left and right, and Garcelle's out here acting like Sutton's personal PR agent, because she knows Sutton is a fan favorite. We all saw what was going on there. The fandom has turned Garcelle and Sutton into the Avengers of the anti-LVP squad. Look, if you like Garcelle, I'm sorry you're feeling this way, but it's something many of us have been noticing for years, and yet, if you dared to point it out, you'd get downvoted to oblivion. Take the lunch with Dorit as an example. Classic Garcelle move. She makes a joke to Dorit about Sutton giving her a Kelly and laughs it off, all lighthearted and playful. Then, when recounting the same interaction to Sutton, she spins it with an entirely different tone, throwing in a smirk for good measure, because why not stir the pot a little more? Earlier this season, Garcelle went straight to Beauvais to gossip about Kyle reading her text to PK at Chuck E. Cheese. She knew exactly what would happen. Beauvais would run straight to Dorit with the juicy details, and surprise, surprise, Beauvais was in on it too. This is Garcelle's MO. She stirs the pot, steps back, and watches the drama unfold, all while playing the innocent bystander. That's the main reason I'm done with her. Oh, has anyone else caught on to this, or is it just me? Could it be that LVP suggesting Dorit for the show was all part of a clever little scheme to get back at Kyle for those tabloid rumors Brandi spread back in seasons 4 and 5? I mean, LVP isn't exactly known for making decisions on a whim, right? And speaking of subtle manipulations, remember Yolanda's quote, "Being friends with you is like playing chess with Bobby Fischer." Yeah, nothing passive-aggressive about that, right? Now, onto something that's been bugging me for a while, Yolanda's neck scar. Did anyone else notice that during her confessionals in season 5? It's hard to miss, especially when she's up close to the camera. I don't think they ever addressed it though. Am I the only one who caught that? Or is this a secret that's been flying under the radar? Can we please just wrap up the Sutton/Dorit saga already? Look, Sutton isn't perfect, but watching Dorit take every opportunity to attack her is honestly getting painful. This feels like it's been dragging on for ages, and at this point, Dorit just comes across as a bully. I'm all for a revenge era and moving away from people-pleasing, but it feels like she goes after Sutton because she's an easy target, and that's uncomfortable to watch. After Sutton had that big win in Augusta, seeing her get torn down like that was frustrating. I actually find Sutton to be one of the most relatable housewives, especially with how open she's been about her anxiety and childhood struggles. It's just hard to watch Dorit constantly go for her. And of course, the fans who love to bully Sutton get upset when you point out that half the cast has been doing it to her since she first joined the show, mainly because of her quirky personality. Diana's season was the worst. Kyle and Erica have toned it down because they realize it doesn't play well with viewers, but Dorit? She's either in suck-up mode or mean girl mode. And right now, she's definitely stuck in the latter because, frankly, that's all she knows how to do. You know Dorit would never try to snatch a purse from Garcelle, Erica, Boz, or even Kyle. Heck, I don't even think she'd pull that with Camille. But Sutton, easy target. What really bothers me, though, is how Sutton handles it. She either backs off without shutting Dorit down, or she dives straight into the low blows. It's frustrating. What really grinds my gears is that Sutton ends up being the punching bag for the housewife who should be in the hot seat, Kyle. Honestly, Dorit and Kyle should be having this productive conflict, but somehow it always spirals onto Sutton. And you can just tell that Kyle is loving every second of it. Sutton and Kyle are supposedly friends again, but we still haven't gotten any real answers from Kyle. Dorit's an idiot for just forgiving her, but at this point, who's surprised? Oh my God, let's talk about the iconic feud between Kyle and Carlton on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the drama we didn't know we needed. Who remembers that explosive fight at Mose and Ken's birthday? Carlton, in all her mystical glory, calls Kyle a bigot, and of course, Kyle's like, "How dare you?" So she storms off to Joyce's house, and what does she find on Joyce's computer? Wraith, bigot, larva. I swear, I honestly think Carlton cast some kind of curse on Kyle, and maybe even Joyce while she was at it. Thoughts? Now, Carlton, what a mess. She since claimed she had a bad vibe from Kyle right from the start. And apparently, a lot of her issue with Kyle came from a dream she had about her. Like, okay, Carlton, that's a super mature and reasonable way to form an opinion about someone. Look, I'm not Kyle's biggest fan, but Carlton basically turned into a tormentor for no reason. But the worst part? When Kyle tried to twist Carlton's reaction to the whole Wicca Star thing into anti-Semitism. Like, we get it. Kyle's got to make it all about her, but seriously? Carlton was just saying, hey, why would a Wiccan have a Star of David? That's weird, right? And what does Kyle do? She turns it into a whole "she's a bigot" situation because, honestly, Kyle just loves the drama and couldn't pass up a chance to stir the pot. Attention whore much? Separation. So does that mean you get a hall pass? I'm confused. I thought when you're separated, you're still technically married, just taking a break. But does that give you the green light to hook up with other people? Like when Kyle mentioned thinking she'd run into Mauricio with another woman at a restaurant. Isn't that like seeing your ex after a divorce with someone new? They're not divorced, right? I get that people can make their own rules, but if I were separated, I wouldn't think my spouse had the right to sleep with anyone else. But that's just me. I guess it depends on what the couple decides, honestly. For some, separation is just a prelude to divorce, so dating is whatever. But for others, it's a chance to reconcile, so sleeping with other people might be off the table. If I knew my marriage was over for sure, though, I wouldn't exactly wait around for the divorce to start dating. Divorce can take time, and I'm not trying to sit in limbo forever. Rules are definitely subjective in these situations. More often than not, when people separate, they're already mentally checked out of the relationship, so the rules kind of go out the window. But discretion is important, especially if kids are involved, or if you still care about the relationship you had. In Beverly Hills, separation seems to mean romantically single, but still financially tied to the person. In Kyle and Mauricio's case, they probably haven't gone through with the divorce yet because of all their money and assets. It's not easy to split all that up. For PK and Dorit, the delay in divorce could be because they don't want their shaky finances going public. In California, couples don't have to separate before divorcing, so it seems like it's more about the financial side of things for all these separations right now. Oh, the mystery of Kathy's comment. Why would she say Mo's too poor to pay someone off when he's clearly rolling in cash? The thing is, being asset rich doesn't exactly mean you're liquid rich. A little finance 101 here. All these ladies might own a ton of property, businesses, cars, and land, but when it comes to cash on hand, they're basically broke. If they needed to come up with hundreds of thousands or, heck, even $1 million in a hurry, they'd have to sell off a bunch of stuff first. So yeah, Mo might be sitting pretty with assets, but he's probably low on liquid cash. That's where Kathy's coming from. Now, as for the whole kissing photos thing, yeah, I think they were referring to that. Kyle and Kathy both seem to agree that Mo didn't tip off the paparazzi. Kathy even made it clear in her confessional that she didn't think he had the funds to make a hush money deal. To me, it seemed like she was talking about paying off tabloids like TMZ to keep the photos under wraps. But it's all just speculation at this point. Pure drama, of course.